is a painful thing! Kill the pause. I guess that's one way to solve the housing crisis. Perfect. The drama, the tears, the danger. This is TV gold. Introducing.
Do you fight in a war with Russia?
I'm not being funny or nothing, but I'm going to speak on behalf of all the British people and tell you right now, we ain't fighting no war. We ain't doing it.
Have you ever thought about joining the army? For honor, for glory, for your country? No? But what if you had no choice?
This is all getting too much. The British government came out with a speech saying that the era of peace is now over and we are moving into a pre-war era.
Today, we're talking about how UK TikTok blew up last week because the head of the British Army said he wants civilians to join. And he's entertained the idea of conscription. Some are stressed, many plain out refuse, whilst for others, we're just numb to it all. We didn't even care about aliens. I'm gonna cover all that, and I'm going to fill you in on the reality of the situation if things were to ever go that far. I promise you, it's nothing like this. My helmet is from Gucci. You can get it at the TikTok shop at the Bomb Shelter Boutique. But if you're new here, I make videos exploring the absurd in real life and on the internet. So if that interests you, feel free to stick around by subscribing after you've watched the video. And if you're returning, make sure to like the video because you know it's gonna be a good one. Now, let's dive into the madness.
Completely get suffragettes, women's rights. Thank you. Revoke my rights. Revoke it and put me back in a kitchen cooking a Vicky sponge. I drafted for war. Are you all right? I don't do well under pressure. I cried during my geography GCSE. I am not the one. And also, wrong generation they've picked. Not me going to war. That's all you'll see. How I do my base for a long day at war.
Private, the target has been cleared for elimination. Take him out.
Yes, hold on, just finishing my eyeliner.
What do you mean identical way? Headshot!
There's two main things in these types of statements from the UK and other NATO countries. Yes, they are getting more prepared, but most importantly, they're messaging to Russia that they will fight if necessary. And while they're sending those tough messages to Russia, let's not forget the people they'll be expecting to back those up. Yeah, us.
The United Kingdom will not hesitate to respond again in self-defense. We cannot stand by and allow
and we're going hard.
Last I checked, we meant everyone but the ones making the statements. Who's we? Are we speaking French? Because if you want people to sign up for war, you need to talk about invading the French.
Oh, madame, voulez-vous toucher ma baguette? Ma baguette?
Be advised, your teammate got their ass kicked.
It's now no secret that they want British people to join, but they don't tell you why. The UK's military faces a recruitment crisis. Why? Privatization. When you turn your army into a corporation, things get weird. Since military recruitment has been outsourced, recruitment has plummeted. Imagine being excited to serve your country, but you're stuck waiting 12 to 18 months just for a medical check. And you don't hear anything back. You would start thinking, did you try to join the military or a monastery? It's been noted as a failed contract, but they still keep renewing it. I wonder why they keep shaking hands. The worst thing about this is the government are giving Capita billions for privatized recruitment. Outsourcing everything for delays and more delays. You could give the money to the troops instead of dealing with contractors who charge $8,000 a minute plus service fee. Incentive-wise, I just can't believe in this economy anyone would accept these salaries. It's an insult to their bravery. And frankly, it's an insult to our intelligence because Capita have the audacity to scam the government with your tax money with no guarantees. And I say scam the government, but one of the biggest scams in politics is the idea that privatizing and outsourcing will make things more efficient, when the reality is more worthless middlemen just get a piece of the pie. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, success isn't measured in battle. In this era, it's measured in profit. Our soldiers will now wear military uniforms that double as marketing tools. Each patch a premium ad space. Introducing Army Plus, our new live streaming platform that lets us stream the war 24/7 to viewers at home for $4.99 a week. General, move your troops to Sector 4C. Our arms dealing stocks are soaring there. But there's no strategic advantage. Why? It's not about strategy, it's about stocks. We already got clearance from the Prime Minister. And then, when we start getting celebrities on Army Plus, why stop at traditional warfare when we can get citizens to sign up for subscription packages on being either basic infantry or the elite forces, all at competitive rates?
Question.
Yes.
Is there a free option?
Frontline customer relations. To ensure continued profits, we'll secretly fund both sides. Keep the war going, keeps cash flowing. So you don't care about the people dying. What about peace? Peace doesn't pay dividends, General.
Welcome to the Gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Ever wondered if you could pass those physical fitness tests that they show in the movies? Nah, same. How low will the barrier of entry go? If I need to go to Greg's every day to prepare myself by getting a cardiac arrest on my doctor's note, then so be it. Don't get mad at me. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Then why don't you get no bitches?
A lot of girls are anemic. Do you think the government's going to give enough iron supplements?
Then why don't you give them that vitamin D?
Shut up!
But they need it to absorb iron.
Honestly though, the war and the UK are just like the voices in my head. Always trying to get involved. But joking aside, what does it say about our society if we are lowering the bar rather than raising our standards? Send anyone who's been on Big Brother, Love Island, any of those reality TV shows. Forget Love is Blind, make Fame is Blind, and blindly send them to the battlefield so all those gym hours won't just be for Instagram.
What do you mean this isn't just a painful thing? You wanted fame, you got it, but you've got to kill to survive for a grand deal. I wanna go home.
This is perfect. The drama, the tears, the danger. This is TV gold. And today's star comes all the way from Newcastle. It's Gary Gazaricki.
Hey,
Alright lads,
not too bad.
love what you've done with the trench. It's decent. Cheers mate, it's hard out here with the boys, but it is what it is. You excited for the fight then? Yeah, I mean, thank God my male biological clock is ticking. After all, Gaza is gonna free Gaza. No, he won't.
What you want, mate?
We've got to save the white people first.
Coming up next, Vlad the Impaler versus Gaza the Geezer.
The government has shredded the social contract into confetti. Here they are, asking us to lay down our lives for a country that treats affordable housing like a mythical unicorn. Often discussed, never seen. So then, what's the grand defense for the privilege of renting out a shoebox? This is not the UK. So, are we seriously fighting for the right to be permanent guests in our own homes? Gentlemen, the poor are everywhere. The housing crisis. I cannot walk down the street without tripping over them now. Indeed, it's quite the nuisance, but what can one do? I have an idea. Why don't we just eliminate them? Out of sight, out of mind. Eliminate them? You mean kill them? Well, yes, it's not like they're contributing to society. Plus, it would help with the housing situation. Here I thought the guillotine was out of fashion. Silly me. Kill the poors. I guess that's one way to solve the housing crisis. Indeed, the remaining population would be a lot more refined. We would be doing the world a favor, really. Just imagine. But what about public opinion? Just start a war and let the papers worry about it. Who's going to argue? The poors. Agreed. Butler, play some music to celebrate. As you wish, sir.
I love this song, isn't it splendid?
I'd sooner go to war with the war insisters than go to war with the strangers themselves. I'd rather go to jail than fight any dumbass war. At least in jail, you know who the real criminals are.
When you go to prison, the most important thing in your life is going to be booty. Y'all better listen to me. A man's butt. Booty, getting some booty, is more important than eating food. It's more important than drinking water. If I see a man I like, I tell him like this here. I like you, and I want you. Now we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours.
But don't even worry about that whole skit. You won't even be going to prison. Why? They're full, remember?
Like, let's really be real. Like, we ain't trying to go to war. I ain't trying to give a Watcher to 6 actual. Target is in the main house.
As of February 2024, anyone in the public that thinks the UK is going to accept conscription is absolutely deluded.
You must be out of your damn mind. Someone needs to conk everybody's head because it's not happening.
You would have a higher chance of seeing a billionaire pay his fair share in taxes. If they ever did need to force us, then the public would definitely be aware. Bombs would be redirecting the British cities, and therefore opting out wouldn't really be in the brochure. We can all agree that when the focus is on keeping the children safe, I'm with you. This ain't about being a We will fight. I just can't have any indication it's to fund the billionaires. I want to be standing next to the UK Prime Minister as we're charging at the enemy. You mean standing behind him? The last person you want to serve with in any kind of situation is a person that doesn't want to be there. A person who chooses to be there is worth 10 that are forced.
Bravo 6. Going dark.
Sure, this could all just be media hype. But the modern recruitment methods are definitely questionable. When I was a kid, the army told me on TV that if I could fix a bike, I could fix a car. And if I can fix a car, I can fix an AH-64 Apache helicopter. Now, in the same week as all this is blowing up, UK influencers are being paid by the army to promote the army to children through Fortnite, the shooting game where the character is dressed up as a banana or Slim Shady. The only thing worse I've seen is the army telling people they can play Pokemon Go in exotic locations if they join the force. But even the Pokemon ad was a hoax. The Fortnite ad was very much real. Operation Belong is just sad, appealing to the loneliness epidemic that we have. Joining the army should be called gun maxing. They'd get millions of applicants overnight, but the ads to Gen Alpha could be worse. Hey Skibbity Toilets, it's the Rizzler. When you join the army, you get a free Fortnite skin and a pickle Rick helmet. No cap. Be a Signal and Phantom Text the apps. Fearmongering or not, since the dawn of the British Empire, they've been trying to hook guys in who have felt a bit lost. It's giving them a sense of purpose. Even if that purpose is feeding the unending war machine, it's a purpose.
What in the world? Oh!
Enemy UAV overhead!
In Ukraine, people are seeing mobilization in action firsthand. We don't just go from 0 to 100 where everyone gets in the army. There would first be an official call for volunteers. If you're not planning on leaving the country, the smart thing to do would be to join up then. You might spend a few months in some tough spots, but after you can start training newbies or pick a job that gets you out of direct danger, like a cook or a mechanic. Armies need more than just soldiers. Someone's got to burn the toast. I asked for beans on toast, not for my baked beans to look like coffee beans scorched in Vietnam. Last week, you tried to fix the truck with bloody duct tape. Who raised you? Getting sent to the front lines would be done in waves. First, it would be ex-military, cops, security guards. The average person would likely be ending up in the back doing support stuff. Turns out, being unfit and hyperventilating doesn't make for a great soldier. Your job is to keep your head down and shoot when I tell you to shoot. Got it? Yes, sir, Sergeant, sir. Ready to level up. Sniper. Get up, Private! Hey. Have you ever wanted to see someone's head blow up like a piñata? No, Sergeant! Just keep your head down and your mouth shut. I don't want to hear your whimpering. Sounds like a glitch in the Matrix. If things get super intense, like in World War II, then there's no escaping it. Your neighbors, your family, everyone would have to get involved with the war effort in some way. Factories change what they make, fun places close down, and you might have to follow a curfew. It's not about wanting to fight at this point. It's about the war being everywhere.
This is BBC News. We're interrupting our schedules for the following announcement.
Buckingham Palace has announced the death of His Royal Majesty King Charles.
By that point, the internet wires would have probably been destroyed at that point, so Gen Z would be really just fighting out of boredom than anything else. There are a ton more people making weapons, fixing planes, managing supplies than those that are actually fighting. And with drones and missiles, the face of war is changing. I really doubt you're going to die in a Hail Mary, blazing glory gunfight like it's Call of Duty and you're trying your 360 no-scope. Most of you struggle fighting Russians when playing Counter-Strike. Spasiba, but niet. Do svidaniya. Just remember, Ukraine doesn't actually manufacture most of its weaponry. The West is the one providing the weapons. So the UK and Europe would definitely have more people in factories. But the catch for the army is that switching from peacetime to wartime is a huge deal. It needs a lot of money, training, and changes in how we work. And without the right infrastructure in place, conscription wouldn't help much because it would be impossible to take it to the levels required to make it worth it. You're more likely to be handed a broom than a bazooka, so the most amount of combat training you're going to need is the karate you learned at 11, kid.
Right hand, make a circle. Wax off. Left hand, circle. Wax on. Wax off.
And war is just old men shaking their fists whilst they send young men to die. And for what? Your country with the unaffordable housing, the crumbling schools and the underfunded NHS? Of course not. It's for our friends at BlackRock and Vanguard to give them more community chess cards in this real life monopoly. You know what I really want? A reality TV show for politicians. They have to live on minimum wage, use public transport, and they can't use their aids. And then the first one to pass a law that actually helps the average person without any loopholes for their bodies wins. But let me know your thoughts. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay blessed and peace.